Greetings, I am Tom Earl, and this is my year of balance. In fact, this is the last year of balance episode, and I am so grateful that you have joined us for this. I know you could be anywhere, so the fact that you are here means so much to me. I hope you had a relaxing and wonderful holiday. We are in between the holiday known as Christmas, and New Year's is coming up here in a few days, depending upon when you listen to this. It may have already passed. And so we're in that mindset of reflecting upon our previous year and moving into this next calendar year. The last two episodes, questions to ask as you're closing up your year, and then our workshop, Closure for 2017, have led us to that mindset. What we're going to do today is I'm going to share with you 6 quotes that reflect how I've lived my 2017 and allow you an opportunity to reflect upon them and create ones for yourself. Before we do that, you know how we like to get started here. The celebration is to intentionally align our energy, our breath with our intentions. So what we're going to do, breathe in and reach, think, or stretch up. Here we go. Breathe in through your nose. And release. One more time. Breathe in. And release. I want you to think of one thing you are grateful for from this past year. Maybe it was an experience. Maybe it was an opportunity, a person, a relationship, an achievement. Think of one thing you're grateful for. And as we breathe in, feel that gratitude travel throughout your body, and then we'll release. So here we go. Think of that gratitude and breathe in and release. Yes, indeed. I hope the completion of your 2017 has been going amazing. I've been in reflection and planning mode, as I shared with you last time. We just relaunched the Celebration Academy. The Celebration Academy now is a membership site. For $10 a month, you get access to every single class we have available. And you get access to an exclusive training we do every single month only for Celebration Academy members that is live and online. And you get to interact, ask any questions you want. We just released a new class called Manifest Your Adventure. I absolutely love it. So my mindset has been in that manifesting place. Of course, we'll share with you more at the end, but if you want 30 days for free of getting to join the Celebration Academy and see what it's like, the link is down below. Otherwise, tomrell.com/courses. And so all of this has had me in that place where I've been thinking how to articulate how my year has been. And I was brushing my teeth yesterday and I thought, I know what I'll do. I'm going to share with you what my year has been through 6 quotes that kind of summarize or epitomize how this year has been and the virtues that I have moved forward with. Now, I didn't start the year with these quotes. I didn't say these are 6 quotes that are going to influence the way I live my life. Rather, in reflection, looking back, these are 6 quotes that explain what I did and the lessons I have learned. I found that it's a more accessible way for me than here are the top 10 things I did or anything like that. This is an avenue of reflection that I resonate with. And so I'm going to invite you, as you're listening to my reflection, to think for you, what are some quotes that would epitomize the way you lived your life this year? So here comes my first one. This is by Howard Therman. It says, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." It's by Howard Therman. Let me read that to you one more time. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. This has been a year where a lot of us have been seeing everything going on around in the world and wondering, what can I do to make a difference? What can I do to improve my community? What can I do to make the world a place of inclusion, a place of respect, a place where everyone is treated with dignity, where there is free from discrimination? We've been reflecting upon these things. And I appreciate Howard Thurman's phrasing of it, because everything I do, whether it's working one-on-one with somebody or in our classes or in a workshop or even myself, is you're really trying to find that intersection of your gifts, your talents, your experiences, and where they intersect with the world's needs. Because in that place is our opportunity to serve. And oftentimes people ask, well, where can I find my gifts? Where can I find my strengths? Where can I find the unique way I can contribute? And what I have learned this year is the way you can find it is by doing exactly what Howard Thurman says, is by finding that place where you feel excitement, where you feel alive, where you feel joy, where you feel in flow, where once you start doing that thing, time just passes by and you don't even know it. It could be something like knitting. It could be something like cooking. It could be something like helping people get in shape. It could be something like, I don't know. I'm just trying to name random things, because you never know the way you can make the world a better place. You don't know what that is. And starting by recognizing that when you are alive, when you are excited, when you're feeling joy, you're highly unlikely to be that person who yells at people when they cut you off at the checkout line or in the car, or you're less likely to be that person who spends their time trolling and picking on people, because you don't have time for that anger, because you are so tapped in and turned on to your love, to your expression, and to your joy. So even whatever you do, the very fact that you've become self-aware of what brings you joy, that in and of itself advances the world and makes the world a better place, makes you a more centered and holistic person. And so reflecting upon that is the way I've been living my years, to try to figure out what are the things that make me come alive in my personal and professional life, and seeing the way it has made me a better person and better member of my community. And so reflect for yourself, what is that thing that makes you come alive in life? Here's the quote number 2. We are not the regurgitators of what is. We are the creators of what is more. It's by Abraham Hicks through Esther Hicks. Let me read that for you one more time. You are not the regurgitators of what is. You are the creators of what is more. This is one I heard a couple weeks ago. Resonated with me so deeply. One epiphany I had this year is that where you are standing right now in this current moment is a result of the thoughts, feelings, and actions that we had before this time. If you think about that where you're standing in life is a result of what you did before this moment. And so the only way to change the moment that you're standing in is to start to create something more. And a lot of times what happens is we get so fixated on what is. We get so fixated on exactly where we're standing. We look around and we see the lack. Or we look around and see all the things that we want but don't have. Or we look around and just feel that stuckness. And when we do that, when we fixate on that moment, we start to regurgitate it. We start to create it, because it was the thinking, the feeling, and the acting that got us here. And so if we continue with that thinking, acting, and same feelings that got us here, we'll continue to recreate this exact same situation over and over and over again. And so what this quote is inviting us to do is to recognize that we have not been called upon to just regurgitate. We've been called upon to create what is more. We've been called upon to expand, to abundance, to make even more of what's inside and what's around us. And so recognizing that has been extremely freeing for me, because it started to allow me to train my mind to, instead of focusing on what I don't want, to see what I already have and have a vision for where I'm going next. And so instead of splitting my energy, you've heard me talk about this, instead of splitting my energy where in one direction I feel my desires and my momentum and my passions and my visions and my dreams going in one direction, instead of splitting it where then on the other way I have doubt, where I see, oh, but I don't have what I want, but it never works out. Instead of splitting my energy going in these two different ways, instead letting go of that doubt, of that fear, of the pain, letting that go and knowing that what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm doing in this moment, aligning it with the creation that I want to bring into this world, whether it's through an idea, a vision, or a dream in the future, and fully embracing and leaning in to that energy. And the more and more I start to do that, the more I realize that instead of regurgitating the current circumstances, I start to create what I'm truly after. And it has been so freeing. So for you, what are the ways you can see in your life that you're regurgitating what is, and instead start to let go of that by envisioning what you want to create and getting emotional belief and impact in the reality that you have everything you need to bring it about? Here comes the third one. Of course, you know I gotta have a gratitude quote. This one says, "The struggle ends when the gratitude begins," by Neale Donald. The struggle ends when the gratitude begins. I'm going to pair this one with another one by Viktor Frankl. If you haven't read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, I highly recommend it. Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor, and he came up with a philosophy, with a psychology, and he was also a psychologist. So basically, he came up with this, and he said that the last remaining freedom to any person is their ability to decide their attitude. This was somebody who had lost everything, and he realized that's the last freedom that no one can take away from you, is your ability to determine your own attitude. And I have found in life that when I find myself struggling, or I find myself frustrated or resisting or butting heads with the circumstances around me, when I feel stuck, when I feel like I'm going upstream rather than downstream, when I'm treading water or feel that my feet are in quicksand, or that no matter what I do, nothing seems to change, as soon as I switch my mindset to one of gratitude, instantly the struggle ends, and I start to embrace and appreciate the journey. Because that's the secret. No matter what we're trying to manifest, no matter what we're trying to create, to accomplish, no matter what level of success we are reaching for, we need to love the journey just as much and even more. Because as soon as we get to a level of success that we're aiming for, we've already psychologically reset the bar for it to be something else. Maybe you've experienced that, where you said, I want this kind of house, or this kind of car, or this level of income, or this job, or I want this accomplishment within my career. And by the time you've reached it, you're celebrating, but you've already said, I want this thing now. And so, of course, we want to pause and celebrate our success. But the thing is to realize is that you're never going to achieve a level of success or a level of achievement where you say, I'm done. I'm fully satiated and I'm going home. You're forever going to be recreating new goals, because that's what keeps you moving forward. Growth is a need. It's a necessity. It's a human need of life. And so you will continue to grow. And that's why we need to realize that where we're going to actually find fulfillment, satiation, joy, where we're going to find that flow and embracing of life, where we feel the playfulness, where we're actually going to find that is in the journey, is in the manifesting rather than in the manifested. And the way to do that is to find gratitude in every moment. And as we talked about on previous podcasts, previous to the celebration episodes, when we do that, then we no longer are in conditional happiness, or we're in conditional circumstances. Instead, we have unconditional happiness, which means that our happiness is not linked, it's not tied up in the circumstances around us. Rather, we are creators of our own reality. We are creators of our own emotional juice, and we're not dependent upon stimulation and circumstances being our way. That doesn't mean that we put our heads in the sand and we pretend that everything's okay even as the world is crumbling around us. But it does mean that we are those people that no matter what, in any circumstance, we can find something to appreciate. We can be that light that inspires others, even as we're working to make the world a better place, even as we're working to clean something up, or we're taking action to alleviate a form of oppression or to end a form of discrimination. During that process, we want to be those that can work to address serious issues while having that air, while having that aura, while having that ability to find appreciation and gratitude, because that can be gratitude and appreciation for the people that you're working with, gratitude and appreciation for those who have come before you, finding ways like that. It'll make us a more humble, and even more important, it'll make us the kind of person who will not get burnt out, because we will continue to nurture our flame. And so for you, what is something that you are struggling in? What is something that you are feeling constant agitation and pressure? Is it at work? Is it in a movement you're a part of? Is it in something you're creative? Is it in a business that you are working to bring life to? And when you're feeling that struggle in your mind, find what can I be grateful for, and notice how your whole attitude changes, which leads us to this fantastic Maya Angelou quote. You've probably heard this one before. It goes like this. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. Maya Angelou. Let me read that to you one more time. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently. Throughout this year, I have found this to be so true, that courage is essential to any other value or virtue that you want to live and exhibit. It takes courage in this time we live in to practice the value of equity. It takes courage in this culture we live in to practice the value of honesty, of inclusion, of integrity. And so we need, in those times where we are feeling doubt, where we wonder, why am I even here? We need to tap into that courage. Courage comes from the word with your whole heart. So that means diving in to that first quote I shared with you. What makes me come alive? Because you can't answer that without your heart. And when you discover, who is it? Who am I? What is it that makes me come alive? To live that truth consistently means to tap into our courage. And so for you in your life, what is an area you want to invite courage into? What are some practices that strengthen and empower your courage? Is it finding other people who inspire you and learning the many ways that they overcame obstacles and demonstrated courage? Is it through physical activities? Sometimes people find courage by doing something like getting in shape, or going hiking, or going mountain climbing or camping. Is it for you doing things like working with friends and finding courage in going out of your comfort zone in building relationships? Is building courage for you sharing your thoughts on social media, once a week publishing a blog post? What for you will allow you to strengthen that muscle of courage in this year to come? I want to share with you another quote. It's by one of my favorite podcasters, authors. Just a really all-around good guy. Goes by the name of Tom Earl. You knew I had to quote myself. It would be very un-Tom Earl of me not to share a Tom Earl quote. Goes, part of adulthood is realizing what your superpower is. Part of adulthood is realizing what your superpower is. I was going through my notes. I found this one. I had written this down when I created the Celebration Academy. This one is really important to me. That when we're young, we recognize and feel in touch with that carefreeness that comes with youth, where we haven't been socialized or conditioned to doubt ourselves, where you listen to your inner voice and start to test things out, Ooh, this feels fun. Let me try it. This feels good. Let me try this before people start laughing or saying that's stupid or conform. And through doing that, we start to realize that we have unique gifts and talents that no one else on this earth has. And that is our superpower. And every single person on this earth has a superpower. Maybe it's your ability to get people to laugh, or to, in a couple minutes, get people to connect with each other and feel comfortable in a room. Maybe it's your ability to draw. Maybe it's your ability to share complicated ideas in an accessible way. All of us have unique superpowers. And as adults, a huge part of what that means is recognizing what is your superpower. And so, of course, that's what the whole Celebration Academy is about. That's what all these podcasts are about. That's what I'm trying to do, is provide you opportunities, circumstances, and experience that can bring to the surface for you what your superpower is. And so this has been a part of my year too, reflecting upon, continuing to ask, what is my superpower? And so I invite you to continue to reflect upon that as well. Here comes the sixth and final one. Your heart has to be ready to handle the weight of your calling. I'm attributing this one to Bell Hooks. I heard it through Bell Hooks, but I believe it was her pastor that she was quoting. Let me read it to you one more time. Your heart has to be ready to handle the weight of your calling. Even more important than taking action. Even more important than staying up till 3 a.m. working on your business. Even more important than grinding it out and #hustle and all that stuff. Even more important than that, the most important thing we can do is the internal work, is our internal journey of forgiveness, of acceptance, of self-love, of self-care, of letting go of the resistance of self-doubt, anxiety, and fear, and embracing fully who you are. Embracing with joy the pathway you're on. And when we do that, we start to nurture our heart. We start to embrace it through all the things we've been talking about, through courage, recognizing what makes you come alive, recognizing your superpower. That is the work we do. And when we do that, we start to realize more and more the vision we have for our life coming to fruition. Because it's an internal journey. Yes, the action is important. Yes, doing all those steps and checklists and goals and time management, all the things that I talk about as well and have trainings for, all that stuff's great. But at the foundation of it is enlarging our heart, is strengthening our vision, is connecting our ability to have a thought and a feeling and to bring it to life by believing in it and by believing in ourselves. And so this right here, your heart has to be ready to handle the weight of your calling. I have been trying to live this one all year. It's to figure out, how can I continue to do internal work, internal personal development work every single day, every single week, every single month, so that I can handle the weight of my calling. And so I invite you to reflect upon that. If you haven't already done so in 2017, to make 2018 your year of bringing to life your inner power, of going within and strengthening that inner power and your heart. My friends, this has been a great episode. I've really felt very relaxed with you, sharing these 6 quotes that have shaped my life. We're going to do a little bit of a shorter one this week because it's the holidays, and I want you to take it easy. So normally, we do about a 30-minute episode. So I'm going to leave these last few minutes. I want to invite you to spend them just thinking about, what are some quotes that have shaped your year? What are some ways that you want to finish off this year in assessing how it went? And if you resonate with this way of doing it, of identifying quotes, just spend these last few minutes writing down 3 quotes that for you symbolize the way you lived this year. And if you would, post them online and tag me in them. I'd love to see them. Or email me, tom@tomearl.com. And as you know from the last couple episodes, I'd love to offer you a 30-minute free coaching session. And we can start off the coaching session and you can share with me what's one quote that epitomizes the way you live your life. If you'd like to have a free 30-minute coaching session, just email me, tom@tomearl.com. Say, hey, I listened and I heard you're offering a free 30-minute coaching session. I'd love one. And we can sit down and we can find a way to make this your most amazing year ever. No matter when you're listening to this, whether this is right now when it comes out at the beginning of the year or it's March, anytime, send me an email. We'll make it happen. Of course, as you know, I shared with you, I'd love to offer a gift of 30 days for free membership to the Celebration Academy. That's in the show notes, or you can find that at tomearl.com/courses. This has been an amazing experience, an amazing 2017, a wonderful year of balance. I look forward to joining you in the new year. I can share with you what my year of will be in the new year. I hope that you are feeling fulfilled, that you are tapping into your gratitude, that you are trusting your inner voice, and you're remembering that you are here for a reason, that you have a purpose and a unique set of gifts, strengths, and superpowers. And I look forward to us connecting and empowering each other on this journey. My friends, it has been a pleasure. As always, I'm wishing you peace and blessings. Thank you.